Is he looking?
No.
Okay, so I just finished Off Campus on Prime Video, and I genuinely don't know how to feel about it. Because, I enjoyed it, kind of, but the whole time I was watching it, I had this nagging feeling in the back of my head. Like eating a meal that looks incredible and tastes completely fine. You're full, you're not complaining, but you're not raving about it either. And I think I finally figured out what that feeling was. Off Campus isn't a show that was made because someone had a story to tell. It's a show that was made because a spreadsheet told someone to make it. Think about it. Heated Rivalry explodes on HBO Max. Overnight sensation. 2 hockey boys, 1 forbidden love story, a Peabody Award, and leads at the Met Gala. The numbers are insane. And you just know, that within 48 hours of those ratings dropping, every single streamer had a room full of people going, okay, but what's our hockey show? And Prime Video looked at their catalog, found Elle Kennedy's Off Campus, a BookTok darling with 13 books and a built-in audience already obsessed with it, and went, yeah, that one. Greenlight. Season 2 before Season 1 even aired. 36 million viewers in 12 days. 3rd biggest series debut in Prime Video history, behind only Rings of Power and Fallout. So on paper, it worked. The algorithm was right. But here's the thing about the algorithm. It's really good at predicting what people will click on. It's terrible at predicting what people will actually feel. Because here's the thing about Off Campus. It has everything. Technically, on a checklist, it's all there. Fake dating? Check. Hockey player with a secret soft side? Check. Girl who doesn't know she's the main character? Check. One bed? Obviously check. The show knew exactly what it was doing. Every trope lands where it's supposed to land. Every slow burn moment hits its mark right on schedule. And that's kind of the problem. There's no moment in this show that surprises you. Not once. You always know exactly where you are in the story because you've seen this map before. The fake dating starts working too well around episode 3. Called it. They almost kiss and pull back around episode 4. Called it. Big misunderstanding that threatens everything around episode 6. Called it with my eyes closed, eating a sandwich. And look, I'm not saying tropes are bad. Tropes exist because they work. Heated Rivalry is basically wall-to-wall tropes, and I have seen it 3 times, as previously established. But the difference is that Heated Rivalry felt like someone was using the tropes. Off Campus feels like the tropes are using the show. The story isn't driving the tropes are driving the story, and you can feel it. Every scene exists to deliver a trope beat rather than to reveal something true about these people. And Garrett and Hannah are fine. They're genuinely fine. Ella Bright is charming, Belmont Camille has the kind of face that was scientifically engineered to play a hockey captain, and their chemistry is real enough that you root for them. I'm not disputing any of it. But I never felt like I knew them. 8 episodes in, and I could tell you what they want. I could not tell you who they are when nobody's watching. And that's the thing that separates a show you love from a show you watch. Hannah has a trauma backstory that the show treats like a plot device to unlock her emotional availability for Garrett. It's there, it's handled respectfully enough, but it doesn't change her in any way that feels specific to her. It could have been any girl's backstory, dropped into any fake dating story, and the show would have played out exactly the same. Which means it wasn't really her story. It was the template story with her name on it. And Prime Video knew exactly what they were buying when they optioned those books. They weren't buying a story. They were buying an audience. 13 books deep, a BookTok fandom that was already halfway to parasocial, with these characters before a single frame was shot. The built-in viewership wasn't a bonus, it was the entire business model. 36 million viewers didn't show up because the show was great. They showed up because they already loved the book. And that's not a criticism of the audience, by the way. That's just honest. BookTok readers are ride or die in a way that no other fandom is right now. They showed up for Bridgerton, they showed up for normal people, they will show up in numbers for anything that has their favorite characters in it. That loyalty is real, and it's earned, and the readers deserved a good adaptation. But here's where it gets interesting to me, because the show got renewed for Season 2 before Season 1 even aired. Think about what that means. The people making decisions about the show hadn't seen the audience respond to it yet. They just looked at the IP, looked at the BookTok numbers, looked at what Heated Rivalry did for HBO and went, yeah, we already know. We don't need to wait. Which means the story was never really the point. The story was the delivery mechanism for the IP. And when story becomes a delivery mechanism, you can feel it in every scene. Everything is just slightly too smooth. Every conflict resolves just slightly too cleanly. Every emotional beat lands just slightly too on time. Like a playlist algorithm that keeps giving you songs you like, but never gives you the one song that just wrecks you. And 36 million people streamed it. So by every metric that matters to a spreadsheet, it worked perfectly. I just keep thinking about what it could have been if someone had been a little less careful with it. Because careful is the enemy of great. And off-campus is so careful. It never risks anything. It never goes somewhere uncomfortable and stays there. It never lets a character be genuinely messy in a way that can't be resolved by episode 8. And I get why. When you've got a built-in fandom, the last thing you want to do is alienate them. You want them to feel seen, not challenged. You want them to finish the season happy, not wrecked. But the shows that people actually remember, they wreck you a little. They give you at least one moment you didn't see coming. One scene that makes you put your phone down and just sit with it. Off-campus never made me put my phone down. And maybe that's fine. Maybe not everything needs to be that. Maybe sometimes a show is just a really competent, good-looking, perfectly enjoyable way to spend 8 hours. And there's nothing wrong with that. The world needs those too. But I think about the L. Kennedy readers who have been waiting years for this adaptation, who had full casting wish lists, who knew these characters like old friends. And I wonder if what they got felt like reunion or just a really good photo of someone they used to know. 36 million viewers. Second season already greenlit. And somehow, that feels like exactly the problem. And I think what bothers me most is that we're going to keep getting these. This isn't the last one. Someone is already in a room right now with a whiteboard and a list of BookTok titles that hit 1 million reads and a color-coded chart of which streaming platform hasn't done their hockey romance yet. And they're going to keep making them. And they're going to keep getting watched. Because the pipeline works. IP to adaptation to built-in audience to renewal, rinse and repeat. And somewhere in that process, the actual question, like, does this story have something to say, just never comes up. It's not even on the whiteboard, because it doesn't need to be. The algorithm doesn't require it. What scares me isn't that off-campus was bad. What scares me is that it was good enough. Good enough to trend. Good enough to renew. Good enough that nobody inside that machine has any reason to stop and ask if they could have done something more interesting with it. Why would you? The numbers are great, the fandom is happy, season 2 is already in production probably. And that's how you end up in a world where the most watched shows are the ones that took the least risks, where it tested well becomes the highest compliment a story can receive, where 36 million people watched something and collectively felt fine. I don't want fine. I never wanted fine. And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't still be here. And the wildest part is that the bones were there. Like, genuinely, the raw material for something special was sitting right there in those books. Hannah Wells is actually a fascinating character if you dig into her. A survivor who builds walls so high she doesn't even notice she's lonely anymore. Who uses ambition as a substitute for intimacy. Who mistakes being wanted for being safe. That's a real person. That's someone you could spend 8 episodes actually excavating and come out the other side feeling like you understood something true about how trauma rewires the way people love. But the show just doesn't go there. It skims the surface of her psychology because going deeper would slow down the fake dating timeline. And the fake dating timeline cannot be touched because that's the trope, and the trope is why people showed up. So Hannah stays just slightly out of focus the whole season. Sympathetic, but not fully seen. Lovable, but not fully known. And Garrett stays charming and protective and emotionally available in that very specific way that only exists in romance novels and never in actual college hockey players. Which is fine. That's the fantasy. I understand the fantasy. But even fantasies can have interiority. Even wish fulfillment can have a point of view. Bridgerton, at its best, understood that. The fantasy and the substance don't have to be enemies. You can give people the swooning and the slow burn and a character who feels like she exists outside of her love story. Those things are not mutually exclusive. Someone just has to care enough to fight for both at the same time. And I'm not sure anyone in that writer's room was asked to fight for anything. I think they were asked to deliver, and they delivered perfectly, efficiently, on schedule. So yeah, off campus, perfectly cast, perfectly packaged, perfectly optimized for your Friday night. And if that's enough for you, genuinely, no judgment. But if you finished it feeling like something was missing and you couldn't figure out what, this was it. The algorithm gave you exactly what you asked for. It just forgot to give you something you didn't know you needed. And that's the gap between a show you stream and a show you remember. Anyway, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.